Now, back to You Asked For It and your host, Jack Smith.
The scene, Mount Rainier. The time, yesterday, today, or tomorrow. The situation, a mountain climber alone and in trouble. The problem, to find him and effect a rescue. The handicap is time. The volunteers who wear this shoulder patch realize this handicap, and they've overcome it hundreds of times. Anthony D. Monfort of Yonkers, New York, asked to see them on maneuvers, and he says, I'm asking to see the men of Seattle, Washington's well-known Mountain Rescue Council. They're volunteers from all walks of life, bankers, salesmen, mechanics, clerks, even lawyers, who have two things in common, mountain climbing skill and the desire to keep mountains safe for everyone. Let's see them on your show. Their story's worth telling. Well, Mr. Monfort, in answer to your request, we sent our camera on a field problem with the men of the Mountain Rescue Council in freezing weather on Mount Rainier. Here is their report. You asked for it. At precisely 6:35 in the morning, the call for help came in through the Washington State Highway Patrol. Less than 2 hours later, 17 men of the Mountain Rescue Council had left their warm beds and assembled at the point of rendezvous. Two tractor-like caterpillars called snow-goes took the men over the impassable roads up near the top of Mount Rainier. The United States Coast Guard have been alerted, and a helicopter is standing by. All the mountain rescue team has to do now is to find one man in this vast wilderness and bring him out to safety. The team sets off on foot, carrying all the necessary rescue gear and a walkie-talkie for communication with the Coast Guard. "45 minutes later, the mountain rescue team reached their objective. They located the victim. Rescue wasn't going to be easy. The fallen man was at the bottom of a steep cliff on a ledge. The number one rescue man goes over the face of the cliff, carrying a first aid kit. Number two man goes down, and the first man has already reached the victim. Down goes the number three rescue man. On top of the cliff, the other 14 men prepare the rigging to bring the victim up. A collapsible steel stretcher is lowered by rope. By this time, the victim has been given first aid, and the three men at the bottom of the cliff prepare to move him. He's lifted into the stretcher, warmly wrapped and firmly tied so he can't fall out. The men above begin the slow pull to the top. This phase of the operation requires maximum teamwork. 3 separate ropes bring up the stretcher and the 2 rescue men who guide it past the jagged rocks. Up and over. Total time from the first call to the end of a successful rescue, 3 hours and 25 minutes. The next 2 voices you'll hear are men who were actually saved by the fast work of the Mountain Rescue Council.
I'm Maury Enzi of Seattle, Washington. The readiness of the Mountain Rescue Team was greatly appreciated when I fell on my ice axe while climbing in the Cascade Mountains. The team left their jobs and was at the scene of the accident only 12 hours after I fell. My name is Thor Reisted. While skiing on Mount Baker, I fell over a 40-foot cliff and was severely injured. Help arrived in less than an hour, and I feel that I owe my life to the Mountain Rescue Council.
And those are the voices of the men who were actually rescued from the snowy slopes. The next voice you'll hear is that of Omi Diver, past president of the Seattle Mountain Rescue Council.
For many years, we have gone up into our mountains to rescue. Too often, we've gotten there too late. We've picked up broken bodies and carried them home. We've looked into these homes broken by the death of a son or daughter, seen the grief and suffering for their loved ones. When you're going into the mountains, know what you're doing. Mountains can be safe.
The men of the Mountain Rescue Council know what they're talking about. Fortunately, they've won more battles than they've lost. Now, next time we see a group of men wearing this patch, we'll appreciate them a lot more. You asked for it.